If you don't believe in conspiracy, then you shouldn't be looking at the Underground Railroad. The New World Order. Auction and Negro sales.
$100.
40 years of Negro men Tuskegee syphilis experiment. Moon posting a flag and playing golf. There are three truths: the dreadful bitter truth, your truth, and the Clifton Bradley Underground Railroad's truth. We as the media, mission, and duty is to make you aware of what's happening.
Damn, you're looking at the Underground Railroad. Hey, this is a Friday, but we usually come on Saturday nights, okay, at 10:30. But today, I want to say peace and blessings be upon everybody. Assalamu alaikum to everybody. And I mention both Jesus and Muhammad's names because they were both messages of truth and reality. And today we're going to be talking about Sharia law in the United States of America. And I had Ali on, Imam Ali on last time, but it was a satellite problem when we started talking about Sharia law in the United States of America. But I'm going to have him introduce himself and get on down with it. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum, and thank you for accepting the invitation.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. I'm Imam Ali of the Sufi Masjid of Chicago, a student of the Naqshbandi Tariqah. Sheikh Muhammad Adil Rabbani is our Shaykh out of Damascus. We follow the classical teachings of Islam, and I wish well for everyone. President Trump first. I'm asking for God to bless us all and guide us in what would please him, in our words, our actions, and our thoughts. And I'm asking only that we learn how to spread love to each other for God's sake, doing goodness and forbidding ourselves from doing badness. That's it, and that's all.
Okay. If people could come on down to your mosque, then it's no problem.
Yes, sir. Without doubt, contradiction to question. We are located at 7920 South Kingston in Chicago, Illinois, the southeast side. You can come and sit with us anytime you like, day or night. Just give us a call. My number is available for everyone, 312-937-8840.
Okay. And you know what, Imam Ali, something I would like to ask you, that you have made comments, and first of all, the Congress lady, Omar, is the first Islamic congresswoman of the United States of America. And she made statements about Jewish people being in control of the Congress with their lobbyists, okay? And she viciously got attacked, and I don't know if she got attacked by the ADL, which is the Anti-Defamation League. What do you think about that? Because you say there's so many Jewish lobbyists.
Well, she made a true statement. And if you want to know who's in control, look at where the axe is being laid when you speak about certain people. So the fact that there was such a backlash shows that she made a true statement.
Yeah.
However, the fact is that if you are with this organization, how can you make statements against it? It's not going to work for her like that. So once again, we just ask God to bless her in her endeavors and to make her successful in whatever she's trying to do.
So she had expected attack from the Anti-Defamation League?
I'm sorry?
So she had expected that attack from the Anti-Defamation. That's the Jewish League.
Yeah, of course. She should have seen it coming, and but alhamdulillah, I'm sure that she didn't mean any malicious intent, and she did speak about her love for the Jews and things of that nature later, but and we should love each other. But like I say, once again, if you're working for a specific interest, you can't make statements against it and expect a positive outcome. So.
Okay, and you know what, Brother Ali, this is a live show too. You mentioned something about a new world order system that you wanted to explain to the people. And when you say talk about a new world order system, are you also saying something like about a modern day crusade is going on against Islam? But I want you to explain that.
Well, the crusade is not only against Islam, but it's against God Almighty. There's been an ancient war between the devil and the children of Adam.
Here you go. Mm-hmm.
The New World Order is new because this would be the first time where Satan is in full control over the enslavement of every man, woman, and child on the earth. That is the itinerary. Everything you see that has a barcode on it is linked to the corporate structure, and the oldest and parent of all of the corporate structures is the Vatican. Everything is linked to the Pope.
Okay.
Everything is linked to him. Even if you look on the back of your state ID, on the back of your driver's license, there's a barcode there too. So inadvertently, they cannot control our flesh and blood. Only God controls that. God controls the breath going in and the breath coming out. But they control what you do through that state ID. See? So that is the way that they have taken ownership of the people. And soon, you won't have an option to have a state ID because the information on the barcode will be implanted in your skin. And that goes to what the Bible referred to when they said a man would not be able to buy anything or sell anything without the mark of the beast.
I'm looking at, it's the mark. And you know what? You made a statement which is profound. Why is it that imams will come on television and make the statement that I want democracy and I want to be the Republican Party, but they never come out and say, you know what, I believe in the Sharia law, which is part of the, I think, the Hadiths. Why?
Well,
Why do they capitulate like that and punk out when they get in front of a microphone and the commentator doesn't even have the sense to ask them, wait a minute, it says something about you. Why?
Well, they don't want to lose their job.
I don't understand.
They don't want to lose the seat of power they've been given through the very structure that we're speaking about. Today's masjids, unfortunately, are developed based around a 503c non-for-profit charter with the government. And as a result, you have this imam that went to a corporate school. He's working at a corporate mosque, and this mosque is being controlled by the state. So if he mentions anything that would contravene the authority of the state, like the Sharia, now he's going to lose his job. Now he can't go home and watch Peace TV anymore. So he doesn't want to lose that. So consequently, he's going to stay within
punk out. That's my words. He didn't say that, but he's an imam. I could say that because I don't hold any official position.
Well, they don't know. A lot of the brothers, they don't know what the 503 charters entail. No religious organization needs to exist based on that. They can exist totally free of any state contract.
And I got to tell everybody out there, now the imam is not saying it. Now the imam may say he don't believe in Sharia law, but the rank and file do. But they just don't say it in front of the cameras. I'm letting the secret out. Okay. Now if I'm wrong, let me know.
No, we're doing the best we can, you know.
Okay. And shout out to Andrew Chowdhury in the UK. But
I don't have anything to do with Andrew Chowdhury.
I'm talking about, that's just me.
Okay.
But he's in the UK, clerk in the UK.
I'm not related to him in any. That's our brother in Islam, but that's it. That's all.
Okay.
We have no parts of his agenda, whatever.
I know, but you know what? I want to ask you something. You say that there's a modern day crusade that is going on against Islamic nations right now. They're dropping bombs on Islamic nations right now. But they say they believe in not killing innocent people, but they said it was wrong September the 11th. Can you explain to me what you was talking about?
Well, the crusade is against anyone that would not dedicate their person, their property, their resources, and their land to the bankers' New World Order. If you
Okay.
that's, for example, the crusade has been going on for over 1,000 years.
Okay.
Once the popes declared themselves God of this earth, and they started to use the wealth that they had accumulated through Caesar to put and subdue every other group, that's what the crusade was based on, and it's still in full effect today. Matter of fact, did you know that the Titanic was a big insurance fraud?
No.
Where they put all of these rich families that were outside of the loop of this New World Order. They didn't agree.
Yeah.
And they put them all on the ship and they sunk it. They said, oh, it's the ship that can't be sunk. And they put all their enemies on that ship. It was a big insurance scam. So every war that's been going on, especially since the 1700s, both sides have been the bank manipulating the resources into their own coffers.
You don't want to tell them something though. This is a live television show. There must be people out there watching. They probably get so educated. They say, damn. But I want to ask. Would like to ask you a question about the Crusades and the CDs and the bombs that are being dropped on them and the Taliban. And are these organizations that are created by the CIA?
Yeah,
Why you say that?
because they're the powers that be. They create conflict, then they bring a solution as an alternative to the conflict,
CIA.
the powers that be.
Okay.
All of these alphabet gangs, CIA, FBI, ADL, they're all working together to promote the government of the Antichrist.
All of them. New World Order and all that.
They're all working together. These are 2% of the population has 98% of the world's wealth in their hands, and they want it all. And they want total enslavement of the people in the process. So they're all working together toward this sinister agenda. But the power is in the hands of the people at all times. But if the people can be distracted through the Super Bowl, through Jiffy Peanut Butter and Rihanna and AutoZone and all of these artificial fictions, then the powers that be are free to manipulate them into whatever positions of weakness that they need to.
I want to ask you this question because you know what the show is about Sharia law. You're saying in the United States of America. Why would the Sharia law, under the right circumstances, be the best thing for the United States and the world, in your opinion, if we had the right Khalifa was installed?
Well, it's just the people are saying.
What is Sharia law?
The Sharia law is saying that we are going to adhere to the disciplines and requirements that God has put upon the people. That's it and that's all. Love for your brother what you love for yourself. Don't steal. Don't fornicate. Raise your children right. That's all Sharia is. We were created by a creator.
Okay.
And this creator has always cared for and loved his creation and has spoken to his creation via his prophets. Okay. All of his prophets taught the same essential message, was that we need to love him with our heart and soul, and that we need to be good and fight evil. And he gives us the conditions.
Okay.
When we obey God, then we prosper. Okay. When we disobey the creator, we cannot prosper. Mm-hmm. So look, I just wanted to add this. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of people that say, well, we don't want that law. Okay, well,
other people. Okay.
Yeah, all kind of people.
Okay.
But let's just look at it like this. Let's take an island. Let's cut the island in half. All the people that want good, clean living, praying, no drugs, no alcohol, everyone is married and we're living industrious lives, that when we want Islamic God-fearing lifestyle, we'll come to this side of the island. Mm-hmm. And all of those that want to be free to obey their selfish desires, their low animalistic urges, they want drugs and alcohol, and they want to be free to obey Satan and do whatever they wish, homosexuals, they go to the other side of the island and let the two nations live, mm-hmm. and in 10 years go back and look at what the development of these two societies would have led to.
So the Islamic, other organizations, some people say like the Islamic Council and other imams, they say, man, we want democracy. We want a Republican Party, but this is not what the prophet said.
No, No.
should be done. So people that are interviewing, you ought to be smart enough to know. Go ahead, brother.
Democracy is just a nice, clean word for mob rule.
Okay.
You got the man on the corner, and you got the little kid, the guys at the skateboard park coming together and deciding policy for the nation. That's insanity.
You know, I would like to, I don't know if you want to comment on this about the LGBT, or would you like to leave that alone?
Well, I don't, want to cause any confusion or fitna with any groups.
Okay.
But all I can say is that homosexuality is an abomination
Yes.
according to God's law. And when you choose to indulge in this, well, that's a private thing. It shouldn't be a decision that influences a public policy. And now that they're teaching children this agenda,
In school.
and they're making it mandatory that they learn these things, this is just a good idea, not a good idea, but it's a bad idea from Satan that they're implementing so that the people will be cursed.
Yes.
Because the Antichrist that is to come,
Y'all.
the Dajjal, he will rule the people through the manipulation of black magic. And in order for magic to have an effect, you have to accept God's curse in the beginning, to learn it, use it, whatever. So if our children are learning homosexual concepts, they grow up and they're just wide open to be manipulated.
Now, but I've been asking you these questions. This is something that this is a live television show. Is there something specific that is bothering you, and you would like to really, that I left out, that you would really, really like to talk about?
LGBTQBT is pathetic. I'm so sorry to see it. I was on the bus one day and a little kid, a child, was asking me about a particular cartoon. I didn't even know the little boy. He was about 5 years old. He asked me, "What about so and so and so and so cartoon?" I said, "I don't know what cartoon you're referring to, sir. He's gay." I said, "Oh." I said, "Well, the Bible says